Hi everyone, I'm Carrie with OESD, and today I'll show you why you don't have to settle for generic store-bought holiday cards when you can create personalized and stunning ones with OESD's Shimmering holiday card collections. Stay tuned as I share with you some tips and tricks on how to make the most out of this beautiful collection. Plus, stay tuned for an amazing bundle of products so you can get stitching with everything you need to be ready for the holiday season. So let's add some sparkle to your holiday season with OESD's Shimmering holiday card collection. What are you waiting for? Grab your embroidery machine and let's get stitching. Are you in search of the perfect embroidery collection that will give you a big bang for your buck? Look no further than OESD's Shimmering holiday card collection. This amazing collection not only offers stunning holiday card designs, but also includes freestanding elements that can be used as ornaments. Talk about getting more value for your money. But that's not all. This versatile collection can be used for various projects and not just holiday cards. From adding a touch of sparkle to your home decor to creating personalized gifts, the possibilities are endless with OESD's Shimmering holiday card collection. Let's start by taking a look at the completed Shimmering holiday cards as they were originally designed to look. These cards feature festive holiday motifs with metallic thread accents, adding a touch of sparkle and elegance to the design. This collection includes 10 5x7 greeting cards. You can see those here. So many, I don't even have enough room. 10 5x7s and 5 4x6s. So a ton of different cards. You can see these all here. It's too much to even fill the table. As an added bonus though, all of the 5x7 cards have a coordinating freestanding element that can be added to the card after stitching. Now don't let these cards' traditional appearance limit your creativity. With machine embroidery, there are endless possibilities for customization and personalization. As I mentioned earlier, it pays to think outside the box with embroidery. You can mix things up and create unique designs by incorporating different techniques and materials. I've made these cards with fun holiday fabrics in different colors so that you can see how it totally changes the look. Of course, all of our collections come with full color instructions on how to create each individual item in the collection. As you can see here, you have full color step outs talking about what we will be going through today. So if you forget what we're doing, use this as a workbook. It also has a great reference guide for which freestanding elements go with which card. So you can see here, for example, on design number 12959-15, you would embroider one of these 12959-16s, and they go together to make the three-dimensional element and card together. So keep this handy. You don't need to print it. You can read it off your computer screen if you'd rather do that. I like to have them handy just so I can reference it when I'm feeling stuck. So the first thing we're going to do is pre-cut our applique elements. And I didn't mention, but in these instructions, you will have the templates for all of your applique. You will have both the mirrored and non-mirrored versions. So in this case, because we're going to be fusing to the back of our fabric, we're using the mirrored version of the template. You'll need to print the template on applique Fuse and Fix, making sure to print it 100% and then roughly cut out your shape. Then we'll fuse our applique Fuse and Fix to the back of our fabric. I have a nice piece of blue Benartex cotton shot here. I decided to do this card in blue and silver and white so that you could see it well on screen, but also I just thought it was a beautiful colorway. So we're going to place our mirrored template printed on applique Fuse and Fix, which is a double-sided fusible web. And you're just going to press and hold for about 10 to 15 seconds for a good fuse. Then you'll cut this out right on the edge of the black line, like this, and set aside. My favorite tip for making cards look super professional is this. We're going to actually use 2 card blanks. Cut one of the blanks in half on the fold, so you have just 1/2 of a card. Set aside the other half for your next card, and then this guy we're going to use in a little bit. You'll see where the whole card comes in at the end. We're using Stable Stick Tear Away for this project as it's perfect for cards as it tears cleanly away and has a sticky surface to hold our card blank in place. You can see here I hooped my layer of Stable Stick paper shiny side up, and we're going to score around the outside using our fabulous perfect scoring tool. Then remove the paper backing to expose the adhesive surface. We're using file number 12959-07 for the example, but all of the cards in the collection are done the same way. So now that we have the adhesive exposed, we're going to put this on the machine and load our design. Once you've loaded the design, the first step is to stitch machine step 1, the card placement guide. Once you've stitched that, and you'll see here, I used a dark color thread so that you could see it on screen. You would probably just match whatever the first step of the embroidery is, which in my case happens to be blue, so this works. Because this is on the stabilizer, you're never going to see it. It's just to show you exactly where to place your card. So you're going to place your card right in the center of that placement guide. If the placement guide and your card aren't exactly the same size, it's not a big deal. Just center your card inside the stitching lines. So we're now going to take this and put it back on the machine and stitch machine step 2, the fabric placement stitch. You can see how quick these cards stitch out. So now you can see here the outline for our applique. So we've removed the hoop from the machine, of course not the stabilizer from the hoop, and place it on a flat surface like your desk. You'll now take your applique piece that we prepared earlier and remove the paper backing. Applique Fuse and Fix makes your applique into a fabric sticker. So you can just place your applique inside the lines. It can be repositioned until it's fused down. So place your sticky applique inside the lines. Again, I've used that bright color so you can see it on screen. You'll use whatever color matches your applique fabric. We're going to put this back on the machine and stitch the machine step 3 fabric tack down. These are so fast to stitch out. You can create cards for everyone on your list faster than you can even get them from the store. So you can see, it's tough, well, maybe you can't see, but there is a blanket stitch that is now around the outside of our applique. So now we're going to put this back in the machine and change colors as per the thread chart and stitch until we get, that's where I feel like Julia Child, the completed card. So you can see here we have our beautiful blue cityscape and Let It Snow. We even used some Yenmet metallic thread for the snowflakes. It creates a beautiful look. Once your design is complete, now we're going to remove the project from the hoop. We suggest cutting away the stabilizer even though this is a tearaway because you don't want to tear the card by perforating the stitches through the back. So what we suggest is just to fold, grab your scissors, and cut away your stabilizer. If you're feeling very daring, you can tear it, but I don't want to hear from you all that you've ripped your card. So trust me on this one, you may want to just cut. So now we have the front of a completed greeting card. So now here's where the magic comes in. Let's make sure my iron is on. It is. So we have our full card here from the beginning of this class, and I'm going to show you the magic of how this works. We have a great product called Fuse and Seal. Fuse and Seal is basically a roll of a sheet of glue. So we're going to cut, this is a permanent fuse, by the way. It's one of our very few non-stitchable products. It's great for applying patches, that sort of thing. But in this case, we're going to use it to fuse the front of our card to this blank one. So I cut a piece of Fuse and Seal that is just smaller than the front of the card. And it may be tough to see, but there's a shiny side and there's a paper side. So we're going to take this and place on the back side of our stitch card the shiny glue side down. We're going to take our iron. I love my Laura Star, by the way. And we're going to fuse the Fuse and Seal to the back of the card. It'll take a second, so be patient. A tip I have, though, is to not use steam on this. You don't want to use steam on paper. Okay, then we're going to let this cool. And then remove the paper from the back of the Fuse and Seal. So now you have a sticky sheet of glue on the back of your card. Take your whole greeting card. I like to open it up. And we're going to place this on the front half of the card blank and fuse. I may fuse a little bit longer if I was at home, but for you guys, I want to get not have you watch me fuse. That's not very exciting. But basically what we've done now is we've created a greeting card that is totally professional looking. You can't see any of the stitches on your back, and it makes your card just look super finished. Now you don't have to do it this way if you don't want to. You can also embroider on a whole card and glue scrapbook paper or fabric to the back of the embroidery for a finished look. It's totally up to you. Again, there are no rules in embroidery. Now that you've embroidered this card, it's good to know these techniques are the same for any embroidered card. We have lots of different card collections to choose from at OESD. But the most important thing is to use designs digitized for paper if you're going to stitch directly on a card. They're made with light stitching in order not to punch through the paper. Again, we have tons of card collections for all occasions to choose from. You can get those from your local dealer or by going to embroideryonline.com and searching for cards. Now, let's work on the freestanding elements that are also included in these collections. These are optional, of course, but they create such a neat 3D element when they are attached to the card. Let's see. We use brads to do this, but of course you could use glue or hand stitch them. Making freestanding lace is essentially always the same. You are going to always use 2 layers of stabilizer, either 2 layers of aquamesh or 1 layer of aquamesh and 1 of badge master. 2 layers are critical because of the density of the stitches in freestanding lace. You need more stabilizer to ensure all of your stitches stay right where they're supposed to. I'm hooping 1 layer of aquamesh and 1 layer of badge master. Typically, it doesn't matter which goes on top, but I tend to always put the badge master over the aquamesh. For freestanding lace, you're going to want to match your bobbin with your top thread. We recommend isocord because it stitches beautifully every time. Once you've hooped your stabilizer, you simply stitch your lace. These elements are all one color, so there's not much to do except to enjoy the stitching process. It's so fascinating to watch. Here's my element. Once your element is stitched, and you can see it's the same on the back and the front, you'll remove it from the hoop and trim away the excess stabilizer. You don't need to get super close, but you just want to get the majority of the stabilizer away, because we're now going to rinse this in warm running water. The warmer the water, the faster the stabilizer will rinse away. In this case, I want some of the starch to stay behind because I want these elements to have a little bit of stiffness. So I'll just rinse until I can't see any excess stabilizer left on the item. Let's see if I can find our finished example. When your lace is rinsed out, you're going to want to set it to dry. Very important tip, make sure you set it on a smooth, solid surface. Don't use a towel or anything with a nap. The starch will act as a glue as it dries and you'll have towel bits stuck to your lace. Ask me how I know. Wax paper or a cookie cooling rack work great for drying freestanding lace. Once your piece is dry, give it a press with steam. It's a step that is often overlooked, and a pressed piece of lace always looks so much better than a wrinkly one. Now here's where the extra fun begins. Each card has a punch guide to show you where to punch holes for the brads. So in the instructions, there is a punch tool guide. So for example, 12959-01, you can see these little red dots. There's little red dots on these that will show you exactly where you're going to want to use your perfect punch and mini mat. If you don't have these, I strongly suggest getting them. So our perfect punch tool and our mini mat, and we're going to take our card and let's go back and reference our punch guide. So we're going to punch 2 holes here and here. So with the perfect punch tool, as easy as a light press. It's a screw action punch, and that will create those holes for you. You can get brads anywhere, office supply stores or online. I love the look of these gold brads on these cards because it creates the look almost of ornaments, especially on this tree here. So we're going to take 2 brads and we'll pretend like this is rinsed out. Goes right through the hole. You can see exactly where those 2 holes are. Punch right through and fold these open. Use your imagination on this one. Make sure when you're punching your holes, you open the card. You don't want holes to go through all the way to the back of your card. One of the things that I love about these freestanding elements is that they're completely removable. So if you sent this card, what I would suggest you do is put maybe a piece of ribbon or a little hook inside the card with instructions for the recipient that they can take these off and use them as an ornament on their tree. What a great way to remember the holiday season. I also wanted to show you that these designs can be used for other things, not just cards. By skipping this card placement step, I made this pillow, apron, runner, and tea towel. These designs are great for so many fun projects. You just have to think outside the box. I hope you enjoyed making these shimmering holiday cards with me. If you're interested, we've put together a bundle of all the supplies you need to make them. This bundle contains the Shimmering Cards collection on a machine-ready USB stick that has all formats for all machines, a project size roll of Aquamesh, a project size roll of Badge Master, a project size roll of Stable Stick Tearaway, a project package of applique Fuse and Fix, and a project size roll of Fuse and Seal. Plus, you get a pack of 5x7 cards. All of this is a $138 value, but because of this sew-along, we've discounted it to only $89. That's a huge value. And of course, we haven't forgotten about our Spree Club members. As a reminder, Spree Club members get every collection we make, so you guys wouldn't want to purchase the collection again. Please join us in Spree Club if that sounds interesting to you. You get everything we make every month. But for current Spree Club members, we have the same bundle just without the USB for only $62. I know this is a fantastic deal, and I think you'll want to get stitching as soon as possible. Please be sure to share your finished projects on our Facebook group, The Perfect Stitch. I know I love seeing them, and I have a feeling your fellow embroiderers will as well. I love getting to spend time embroidering with you. Until next time, happy stitching.